Hello, hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Dynamo. I will find out if I'm able to get to a live video today. I'm not sure if I'll have time. So we'll reassess when we're at the end of actually giving you the update. As for an update, we're about 10 games into the season itself. And the league is going quite well. We're sat second at the moment, battling it out with Liverpool. We're equal on points. 2 losses apiece between the two of us. One of Liverpool's losses was to ourselves. That was a 2-1 victory in the league. What I'll do is I'll pull up the stats for that one. It was after a good showing in the Champions League. But let's get this one open here now. So, we pretty much dominated that game in terms of possession. Got to 58%. Really good pass completion rate. We had an XG of 3.2 and an opposing XG of 0.74. So we were in a much better position than they were throughout most of this game. A lot of shots on was it 10 shots on target to there too? So this was one of those games where if we didn't win this game, it would have been because Liverpool just have this ability to be able to just pull one out of the bag and put the ball in the net just whenever they choose to do it. Salah, Firmino, Nunez and Diaz just can create bits of magic out of nowhere. But what they don't have is an Erling Haaland. Haaland has been an absolute revelation. 13 goals in 11 games. But what's funny, and I will go through this in a while, I actually think he's underperforming for me. And I'll unpack the statistics in a while to explain why, because he's been leaving goals behind him. He could easily, now he's 20 goals and 16 appearances, including Champions League. He could easily be up in the 25 to 27 at this point. Kind of crazy to believe that I'm talking about a player who scored 20 goals and 16 appearances as underperforming, but that's just where we are with this man in this game. I always went back into that match itself. The other loss, my losses came against Tottenham and Newcastle. Now, these were frustrating because this is just what happens. This is a 1-0 loss to a penalty, except we were by far the better team. We didn't control possession, which was unlike us, and I was a bit disappointed at that. But as you can see, 20 shots, 6 on target, and an XG of 2.15. So we underperformed in this match. And it was one of those points where if Haaland underperforms, we underperform. That's just the way this goes. You can see a 6.3, a 6.4, 6.3, 6.2. We just did not play well in this game. It really was that simple. We just did not play well. 1.49 goal difference. So they got their goal, except it was a Harry Kane penalty. So all in all, a draw probably would have been a fair result for this one. But look, Spurs, they got the points. They got the points in the end. Newcastle. What in God's name happened here? Again, 1.0, 1.35. Very even game. We controlled possession and they just decided to score. I started experimenting with this formation where having Cancelo and Walker just overloading those wide players and just having a lot of people holding in midfield. Foden, De Bruyne, Silva and Grealish, just trying to get the most out of my attacking players. It's taken me a while to just find a way to balance defense and attack with these players, of just getting them into a solid system. The system with arguably one of the greatest squads that any team has ever amassed in the Premier League. I am playing a 4-4-2. I haven't. De Bruyne is injured at the moment. He's missed the last 2 games, I think. Haaland and De Bruyne are just playing as a complete forward and a false 9. What's his name? Yeah, Foden is playing phenomenally well as a false 9. So utilizing him either as a left-sided playmaker or as a false 9, the boy is absolutely incredible. I'll show you his statistics in a while, but those are the 2 games that we lost, and they were quite annoying. Champions League, interesting group. Benfica, Madrid, Celtic. We're currently second at the moment, but I'm fairly confident we can get out of this one. Jesus. Timo Werner, 6 goals, 6 goals. Haaland is basically topping a lot of the statistics at the moment, but Benfica gave us a shock result in the opening round, a 3-1 loss at home. That was, I didn't know how to cope with this one because we were 2-0 down coming into the 75th minute. Haaland at an 85th minute goal, which made me think maybe I can salvage a draw out of this one. But then Fernandes just in the 93rd minute just went bang, 3-1 loss. You're opening this group stages with an absolute howler at home. Oh, it was not fun. So then the loss to Newcastle, it had me worried. It really had me worried, especially because like the 5-0 win away at Southampton, as well as beating beating United 2-1, it had me thinking that there is something to this formation. That using those four players in that attacking, kind of like that attacking third, as well as Haaland just basically just floating between spaces, just deciding, ooh, ball at my feet, bang, goal. There we go. We are now 1-0, 2, 3, 4, we're 4-0 up. I didn't even notice what happened. Haaland just does that. An XG of 2.0, like 2.03, it is exactly what you would expect. 8 shots on target out of the 22. These two losses concerned me, but then we just basically decided Celtic, yeah, bye-bye. Away 5-1. It was beautiful. Let me just take you in so far and just show you the Premier Division. I want to show you, this is basically how it's been. Liverpool just dominating away, City behind me, City behind Liverpool. And the main difference between the two is Liverpool has just been scoring bucket loads of goals in the league, which means when you come in here, when you look at the goal difference, that is basically what the difference is. They've scored 33, we've scored 30. They've conceded 7, we've conceded 10. Jesus, Tottenham and Newcastle conceding bloody bugger all. When you come in here, you can get lost in these for a long time. So look, they have a six goal better difference over us in terms of goal difference. So it's about winning as many games as we possibly can, or just trying to convert some draws. What's interesting is we're either winning or we're losing. It really is that simple. We haven't, like, we've played two big guys. We've played Man United and Liverpool. Chelsea down in 12th. This is what's been interesting because they have not had a good start to the season. Graham Potter has already been sacked. So Chelsea, Arsenal and United kind of finding themselves outside of those those Champions League spots, and not really in a position to be challenging for continental football, except Arsenal and United are challenging, but they've got Spurs and Newcastle really riding those coattails. I'm expecting Spurs, if they can keep that form up, they will be able to get top 4, which will be very interesting because it means I won't be able to pry Harry Kane away. Kane and Haaland up front, I think it would be ludicrous fun. That would be so much fun to play because both of them basically play very similar styles of games, except Harry Kane would drop back ever so slightly to play a creative role for Haaland to just bomb forward, but they could then kind of like just like swap between the two roles. So if one's getting a bit tired, Kane can go forward and Haaland can drop back. But Haaland and Kane, that would be a dream front line. I would find it so much fun playing with the two of those. And then having De Bruyne just playing kind of like a 10 role behind both of them, feeding, the amounts of assists he'd end the season with. I want to take you in here. Let's just walk you through the statistics at the moment and just show you how we're getting on overall. Actually, what I'll do is I'll show you for the league, because Champions League is what it is. So average rating, no surprises here. Haaland has been our best player, 13 goals in the league so far. Foden, Silva and Haaland, that is where our goals have been coming from. Rodri has just poked up with 2. One, an absolute screamer from outside the box. Delighted when that one went in, but we haven't really seen much from him ever since. Silva, Foden and Haaland. That is really how it's going. Foden has had a really good recent form. He's been scoring and assisting 2, 2 and 1. Haaland, slight drought. I say slight drought. He won a game. He went 3 games only scoring 2 goals. And as you can see, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, 3, 2. He's a goal a game player. He really is that simple. Outside of that, De Bruyne, he is out for between 9 days and 3 weeks. So it's probably going to be November before we get him back, which means that he's going to miss the rest of the Champions League qualifiers. But Foden is playing really well, so that we're not really missing De Bruyne. I don't think there's like really competitive games coming up. We've got Everton, Leeds, Nottingham Forest, Benfica, and he's going to be missed for the Benfica game. But before the World Cup, like his goal is going to be to try to get back for the World Cup, and we don't really have anyone. Oh, Chelsea, Arsenal, that's a nasty combination. 34. We play Chelsea and Arsenal within 3 days. That's ridiculous. Look, let me show you this. Let's go into league. And I want to open up this that I've showed you earlier on. Import view, stats, attack. Okay. So I've broken this up, and now let's just do it for the attackers. So Erling Haaland, so far 16 appearances. He's made 6 player of the matches. He's won 20 goals, but he has an XG of 21.48. And a big reason behind this is because he is putting a lot of shots wide of target. Because if you see, he has a conversion rate of he's a conversion rate of 15%, which is like 20 goals out of 56 shots on target. He's booting the ball at the keeper, and if he's not booting at the keeper, he's booting it like just wide. Because like 1 out of every 3 shots is on target. Like, again, these are ridiculous statistics for a player, but for a player of his quality, I'm a bit disappointed because like per game, per 90, he has an XG per 90 of 1.39, but he's only scoring 1.3. And you can see this leads into kind of like he has a shot ratio per 90 minutes of he makes like just under 9 shots with 3.6 on target. Again, when you boil this down, he's about a goal a game. So like a 1.3 goals game. So 1 in 3 shots per 90, when you really look at this, is like 1 in 4 shots goes in, which is incredible. But he's still underperforming given his own statistics. That's what's crazy here. Now, he's gained more assists than he's supposed to, but look, they're not going to think about that. And where this becomes really interesting is let me introduce the attacking midfielders, because I want to show you these two, because Phil Foden has an expected assist of 7.6 and he has assists of 3. Bernardo Silva has 8 assists. That is incredible. De Bruyne 8, but you see here like 2.81 assist, 1.85 only 1, 1.05 1. What is happening here is, with the exception of Foden, everybody else is essentially getting lower assists than their expected assists, and the reason why is because they're putting the ball in front of Haaland, who's making those shots. So he's getting himself into good positions, getting himself into goal scoring positions, but then he's not converting them, which means that their expected assists are going down. Their expected assists are going up, but their assist numbers are going down. And Haaland should be in a position where he's scoring. He's essentially scored less goals than he's expected to. He should be around 22 goals at this point, maybe 23. And that's why I was saying that he could, if he was actually performing really well, he could have so easily been in like the 25, 26 goals. So that is what I'm finding interesting, because like I have an arguable, like quotation marks here, underperforming Erling Haaland. But he's still 20 goals in 16 appearances. And that's why you end up in a really interesting situation where he's dominating the player over, because like 11 appearances, 13 goals. 11 appearances, 11 goals. We go into most shots. He has 95 shots. He has nearly double the amount of shots as Salah behind him. Going to most passes, De Bruyne and Phil Foden. Robinson, Jesus, I'm actually a little bit surprised at that one. But again, that is just how Liverpool play. Most player of the matches, 4. Salah, okay. Yeah, Bernardo Silva is 3, Haaland is 4. And if we pop here, because you can see like offside, he's been offside an awful lot. That has been really annoying. But look, that's just what you risk when you play that. Cross completion, Bernardo Silva, average rating is 7.95. Absolutely incredible. Non-penalty XG, scores about an average of 1.2 goals per game, not including penalties. That is outrageous, with a shot ratio, I've already showed you this one, of 8.62. It is like, he is a phenomenal player. This isn't news to anybody, but it's funny how he could still be playing so much better. It's just one of those things where he could be playing so much better. So I'm not going to get to doing a live match today, but look, it's only Leeds. United Leeds. Like if we were United, then this would be a big huge derby. But because it's Manchester City, I don't think that is that a derby. I'm not actually sure here. Hold on a second. Let's go in here. I've forgotten how to navigate this. There we go. No, it's just United. So in terms of the squad itself, oh yeah, Julian Alvarez, no goals. He's made 13 appearances, 1 assist. I've not at all been impressed with him. I'm probably going to sell him. I have found him an absolute waste of space, to be honest. Paid a small fortune, but I'm telling you, I'd rather have Gabriel Jesus back at the club, because Alvarez is just, I don't know what it is. I'm just not getting performances out of him. Outside of that, like I said, like the league has been going pretty well. So I want to try. This game against Celtic is important, because if we like smash Celtic, 4, 5, 6, 7, Madrid and Benfica is important, because if Madrid beat Benfica, then it kind of goes down to that last day, because we won and drew against Madrid, so we have the better head-to-head. So it does. Is this rules based on results between team? Perfect. So like no matter what happens, Atletico Madrid has to beat our performances. They have to win. They absolutely have to win. If they do not win against Benfica and we do not beat Chelsea, basically the permutations have to follow as such. We have to lose to Celtic, and Madrid has to beat Benfica for Madrid to even stand a chance. If we beat Celtic, then Madrid, they're out. They can't. There's no possible way they'll be able to catch us. As is always the case, poor Sporting. As is always the case, we are looking to try get as much as we possibly can out of Haaland. And before we go, I'll just show you the system that I'm playing at the moment. So, ball-winning midfielder, box-to-box midfielder, just to kind of like hold up that midfield and just provide pivots. Rodri, just trying to get the most out of his defensive stability, because he's got really good position, really good tackling. Why would you not make the most out of this? Strength and stamina. I just want him just putting himself around and just trying to win back the ball. And then Gundogan. Gundogan has this position at the moment. It's going to end up being Foden's. And with Foden, I'm going to try increase that stamina, as well as getting him to increase his positioning, because there is a good box-to-box in here. There is a very good box-to-box in here. Outside of that, Foden is also really good false line, because when you play him in that position, it is beautifully set up. Let me get it all here now. Come on, Foden. Let me show you what this looks like. When you go into attacking roles, false 9, just look at how this sets itself up. Flair, off the ball, vision, agility, passing, technique. All he doesn't have is the finishing. But a false 9 doesn't finish. That's not their role. Their role is to create space. Their role is to open up space, create indecision, create panic in a back line, and to basically fall between where the line split. So if they play with a deep defensive midfielder, I essentially take that defensive midfielder out of the game, because Foden is not there to be the attacking threat. He's there to be a creative threat. Him or De Bruyne plays that role so effectively, which is why I really like playing them in that position. And then it is beautifully mirrored with the player traits. It gets into opposition area, as well as uses the outside of the foot, likes playing ball into feet, runs at the ball often, especially likes ball into the feet, because he's coming back into those pockets of space, passing and playing through. It's a match made in heaven. He is playing phenomenal for us right now. Average rating is 7.1. One player of the match, 2 assists, 5 goals. I would like him getting more assists. He's scoring goals though, but I would like him to get more assists. All in all, in 16 appearances, 7 goals, 3 assists. Like, what's not to love? What is really not to love about this one? So I'm going to try come back to you later on in the week anyway. Maybe show you probably that last game against Benfica, because that could be a really fun one to basically just cement our position. Do we finish top or do we finish second? Will we be seeded or will we not be seeded? That is how it is going to come down to. But anyway, friends, glad you could join me for the update. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.